Okay. Alrighty, I think we are live. I see Soul Embrace is already in the chat. He says, Soul, dropping in from Apex. Yellow Yang. Yellow to you too, Soul Embrace. Amada Lanezi. Heyo, peeps, he says. Heyo to you too. Glad you guys can make it. I do apologize for sort of the last minute nature of this particular stream. I couldn't do it yesterday, and I didn't know if I could do it today, and then I don't know, found out eventually that I could do it today, so I just kind of posted something up in the Patreon page so that everyone would hopefully tune in. But I know for some people, it might have been too last minute. That's understandable. Ahmad Alanezi, it's me, Alerby from Discord. Yeah, we literally talked a few minutes ago. So, yeah, feel free to leave a question, and I'll answer it the best I can. Video Bros, hey man, how you doing? He says, hey sir. I'm gonna look through the Patreon stuff first. I don't believe there's many today, because of the fact that this was so last minute. Let's see. So, here we go. David asks, are you playing us like fiddles? Just kidding, LOL, and keep up your hard work. I'm enjoying the content. Thank you, David. I'm not playing fiddles today. I know it is April Fool's, so a lot of people expect that I'll do some kind of crazy, I don't know, stunt via YouTube. But I don't know. That stuff can backfire if you don't handle it correctly, so I decided to go against it, just keep it straight. Plus, it's a bit, I don't know, I get the spirit of it, but it can be a bit annoying that some things you just don't know whether they're true or not, because it was posted on April Fool's and it seems kind of crazy, but you're also like, it's possible, so you're kind of iffy. Just April Fool's is not a good day for game news. You just sometimes don't know truth from lies. So, yeah. For example, Borderlands 3 accidentally tweeted something out about it likely being an Epic Store exclusivity. It was like a leaked GIF showing the release date being September 13th or something, and the Epic logo on one corner. And so that has a lot of people thinking this is going to be Epic Store exclusive, but people don't know if this was a joke or if this is actually happening. In all likelihood, I'm going to guess that Borderlands 3 will be Epic exclusive. So I would brace for that. It doesn't seem like it was an intentional thing, because they had to delete the tweet right after they posted it. But I don't know if that's also part of the April Fool's thing they're going for, or if they accidentally posted the tweet before April 3rd, which is when we're supposed to get all the info. So yeah. So a lot of other people are playing us like fiddles, maybe, or not, who knows. But I myself, no fiddling today. Video Bro says, happy April Fool's Day, Mr. Young. I brought in my pooter I bought from Jack Vale Films and pranked people at work by making them think I kept farting. By the way, I was gonna play more Persona 3 FES, but I rather would listen to your stream first. Well, I appreciate that you would take some time off an amazing game to just hang out with me. I know we did message each other a little bit. I didn't see your latest message. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, we talked a bit about Mob Psycho. So that show, I believe it's ending today, this second season. So now I can actually binge it without having to worry about waiting for the next episode. I hear season 2 is freaking excellent. A lot of people love this anime, and I watched half the first season way back when the show was still going on, and then it petered out. So now that all the episodes are laid out, I can go back in and frickin' watch all the episodes at once. I hear the animation is insane. especially in the second season. The animation was pretty damn good in the first season. I hear they stepped their game up in the second season. I hear the storylines they cover from the manga, it's more serious, a lot more character development. Just a lot of cool stuff that I cannot wait to delve into. So, yeah, let's see. What else do we have? I believe that is everything from the Patreon end of things. Now let's check out what you guys in the chat have to say. This might be a shorter live stream, given that, again, so last minute, not many people had the opportunity to tune in today. And I know, Ahmad, you have to go to bed soon, because it's like 1 a.m. for you over there. Mike Lee asks, you see IGN's Nintendo Direct spoof today? That's, I have not, actually. Let's see if I can bring that up and we can watch it together. Why the hell not? Let's see. IGN Direct. IGN Direct. I don't know, is it on YouTube? Or is it on their website only? Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Alright, this should be interesting. Let's see if I can switch to a different scene. There we go. Do that. I can turn on my video here. And yeah, let's watch it together. For those who haven't seen it. Why the hell not? So this is April Fool's for those who aren't aware.
Hello. As Nintendo fans around the world know, each day brings exciting new announcements and releases for the Nintendo Switch. From new experiences in the Mario and Zelda series to classic games from the Nintendo Entertainment System and more. It's a great time to be a Nintendo Switch owner. But even with the help of our friends at third-party studios around the world, we realize it's been very difficult to keep track of every new experience coming to Nintendo Switch.
This guy's not from Nintendo.
That's why we here at Nintendo are proud to announce that everything is coming to Nintendo Switch. Let's take a look.
Okay, this is pretty well put together. Oh, hell nah, don't. Wow.
Grab your ocarina and return to the world where Link's 3D adventures first began in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on Nintendo Switch. Relive this epic Zelda adventure at home, or experience it on the go for the first time since its 3DS remake. Stop Ganondorf from taking over Hyrule once again when The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time comes to Nintendo Switch later this year.
Don't even joke about this. Okay, I actually want that so badly.
That's right. The Nintendo 64 Classic finally arrives on Nintendo Switch.
How long is this? 4 minutes.
And this one too.
All right. Oh my god. Wow. So all the Zeldas. Okay. Yeah, I wish.
Board the King of Red Lions and take to the Great Sea when The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD finally makes its debut on Nintendo Switch.
I would legit
This
replay
beautiful
this game on
cel-shaded
Switch.
journey will have you eagerly hunting for treasure as you sail to distant islands full of adventure. The winds are yours to command when The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD comes to Nintendo Switch in
They
2019.
just took Wii U footage. And the Ocarina one was clearly
Soon,
3DS footage.
You'll be able to sail the seas of Wind Waker everywhere in the world. But wait, don't forget about these.
Wow, yeah, okay. Oh god, hell no, that's
But every Zelda game just means every Zelda game. And we said everything.
Yeah, at that point, you know, it's April
Let's
Fool's.
take a look.
This guy's really going ham with the thing. Half-Life 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, Mass Effect.
Let's take a look.
It just won't stop. Portal 2. Batman Arkham City. Yeah, okay, Red Dead Witcher 3,
Let's
of
take
course.
a look.
Wow. Yeah.
As you can see, some of the best things of all time are coming to Nintendo Switch.
This is
but
what
that's
happens
not everything. Everything would also
when
be
Nintendo's
the
on
worst
cocaine.
thing.
見てみましょう。
This is
We're
pretty
going
good,
to
not
put
gonna lie.
everything
The guy should just use two hands at this point, just
on.
like that.
Nintendo Switch.
That guy is slowly losing his mind.
Everything on Switch.
Jesus Christ. Yep. Jesus Christ. Wow.
Thank you for watching.
Okay. Well, that was a thing that happened. That was interesting. Okay. Okay. I gotta hand it to IGN. That was pretty funny, not gonna lie. Especially at the end when the guy started like jizzing himself while like trying to snap his finger. Yeah. Good stuff. So I hope you all enjoyed that alongside me. Good lord. So anyway, back to the chat. Appreciate who was it who pointed to that? Mike Lee, appreciate you pointing me in that direction. That was a fun watch. Lots of Zeldas, lots of Thanos snapping. Soul Embrace 2010 Gaming says Thanos has competition. And see, Thanos would just snap once and he would bring everything to Switch. But this guy had to basically snap like he's jerking off. Okay, he had to just, you know, that was inappropriate, but it's also kind of true. So, yeah, that was IGN's April Fool's thing. Let's see, we got a question here from T-Job123. What's up, Yong? Now that our episode Arden is out and the Luna, Arania, Noctis episodes were disappointingly cancelled, what are your thoughts on the final state of Final Fantasy 15? I haven't played episode Arden yet, so I can't really comment on that. What I can say is that it definitely sucks that all these other episodes were canceled. I mean, they were promised and then they just... yeah, they just said no. And I get that there were extraneous circumstances, but... you know, you gotta keep your promises as a game developer. Regardless of... you know, you gotta plan ahead. And one thing that Square Enix cannot seem to do is plan ahead. Because, yeah, I mean, games take forever to make because they can't organize themselves, and then DLCs get canceled because, I don't know, they have so much ambition. But sometimes a lot of that is misplaced, I feel. Where they're not, they never have a realistic mindset. And so things get kind of screwed up along the way. But I don't know, I decently enjoyed Final Fantasy 15. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Final Fantasy, but it is definitely, I'd say it's a pretty good game. I know a lot of people would prefer that it go back to being a more traditional JRPG, turn-based mechanics with like, you know, interesting leveling systems, unique leveling systems. Because that's what Final Fantasy has always been, whereas Final Fantasy 15 plays a lot more like Kingdom Hearts, you know, just more action-based. Live combat, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, overall, in terms of the final state, I think they did improve the ending. I know there was a lot of umbrage that was taken with the final act of the game. And I believe an update kind of rectified all that. And then it would have been cool to see more, to hear and see more about Luna, Arania, and just see more of the story. But I don't know what happened exactly. Did the game just not sell enough? Did it have something to do with internal rearrangement? Was there some staff that was shifted around, and or was it the publisher who said, you know what, we can't afford to make more of these, just do one more, do episode Arden to, you know, at least give the fans something and then just cut your losses? Is that what happened? I don't know. It's hard to say. So yeah. Overall, you know, things could have been better for Final Fantasy 15. But it wasn't so. And I guess there is the question of how many players are actually actively buying the DLC, playing Final Fantasy 15. Maybe the previous stuff just didn't sell well, or there was a decline in sales, so they were like, it's just not worth it. But, you know, you gotta expect that and plan things out in such a way that you don't make announcements that you cannot fulfill. That is really important. So that's my take on that. Let's see. Ahmad Alanezi replied to T. Job with Final Fantasy 15 is basically dead to me. It's legit my first game and I was disappointed with the post-game development. Yeah. It seemed like they had a lot in store post-launch, but out of the blue, they just kind of said, nah. And that's my fear with other games, other live services. You just never know. The developers could be super enthusiastic about, no, we're going to support this for years to come. This is a live service we're committed to for the long haul. And then out of nowhere, it may not even be up to them. And, you know, whatever roadmap they had gets cut off. That can happen now. And so you cannot really trust developers and publishers anymore when they say that we're in this for the long haul, that you're going to see all this content. If it doesn't perform as intended, they might just cancel it because, yeah, that's just the nature of things these days, which kind of sucks. So let's see. Mike Lee says, Yong, you should check out Final Fantasy XIV. Square Enix has been doing amazing with it, and Shadowbringers is looking sick. Yeah, I've been recommended by a number of people to play Final Fantasy XIV. I'm not huge on MMOs, but Final Fantasy XIV, I don't know. I hear it's something special. Like, it's got the typical MMO structure, but it's just, I keep hearing that it is the best MMO out there right now, that it can get away with still charging money for subscription, whereas other MMOs are going kind of like a free-to-play hybrid. They're doing, like, extended free trials, and I think Final Fantasy XIV has a free trial that you can partake in. But it's still very much subscription-based, but I hear so many great things. The game, graphically, it looks good for an MMO. And I know a couple friends of mine have been playing it and enjoying it vastly. I've seen some reviews, and more I get enticed to play it. But it's just, it seems like a big time commitment, so I want to sit down and play it when I feel like, okay, like when I feel like I have the mindset to commit towards hours upon hours of MMO gameplay. But yeah, if there's one MMO that I want to play right now, there's, you know, Elder Scrolls MMO, Star Wars MMO, World of Warcraft, all these different ones. If there is one that I'm really looking forward to one day playing, it is Final Fantasy XIV. So, yeah, hopefully I can do that. I hear the story is really good. which is great. I mean, story for me is so important in a game. It's what keeps me hooked to an experience. Unless the gameplay is just so fun that it makes up for the lack of story. Like recently I've been playing Astrobot for PlayStation VR. My brother got me a PlayStation VR for my birthday a couple days ago, and it's such an amazing game. Like the story's just, oh, you gotta like rescue these little robots from these different planets or whatever, all these different levels. There's really no story, but the way it handles VR is a revelation. This is probably the game that will make you go, oh, this is what VR is about. This is the potential VR holds when somebody commits to taking advantage of all of VR's functionalities and really taking advantage of the new perspective it offers. It's amazing just how creative they get with, you know, the fact that you have this headset looking into the world. You can like look around while the character, you have your DualShock and the character moves around the world and you have to kind of like follow him while you're moving him around. And sometimes you have to like look back and see if there's anything hidden. It's really cool. And then there's this one level where you're like in a minecart and you're like speeding along with the character you control, and you have to like look around as the cart, you know, you have to like hop from left to right, and it's just like this rush of adrenaline, a rush of speed. That was the most recent level I played, and I'm like, holy shit. I was smiling the whole time. So there are games like that just bring joy from a pure gameplay perspective. And then there are games like Final Fantasy XIV, and you know, that I hope will have a story that will entice me to grind for equipment and get into the addictive gameplay loop. You know, I think having a balance of those two is the most ideal scenario. T-Job123 says, it's also worth noting that Anthem has a roadmap out while BioWare is on the cusp of being shuttered by Electronic Arts. Yeah, that's a perfect example of what I was talking about before. BioWare insists that, no, we're going to commit to listening to feedback and keeping this game up and running for years to come. And that's great that they have that enthusiasm, that attitude. But again, it may not be up to them. And these days, you cannot trust a developer when they say that, because there is always that chance that a game will inadvertently get shut down out of the blue, just like the Final Fantasy XV DLCs, just like the Mass Effect Andromeda DLCs that were supposed to be released. It just, you never know. If Anthem can manage to pick the pace back up by bolstering the game enough that players will be enticed to come back into the game and play it, then maybe there's a chance that they can keep this going. But lately, they've been taking like half steps, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, the loot's still shit, and people just don't know if this is a game that will last. Because BioWare keeps fucking up. And if the player base keeps diminishing, you know, it doesn't matter how enthusiastic developers are about the longevity of Anthem, it'll just get neutered. It'll get shut down because it's just not going to be making the money required to make up for the expenditures involved in maintaining the servers and developing more content, all that stuff. T-Job123, also happy late birthday, Young. I still need to get Astrobot myself, but I loved both of the demos they had. I would absolutely recommend it. Thank you, by the way, for the birthday wish. But yes, absolutely get the full game. There is like 20 levels and a bunch of challenge levels. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. It's one of few games. A lot of people, one guy on Twitter said that there was this dude who said it's basically the Super Mario 64 of VR. You know how like Mario 64 was the game that showed us the potential of 3D platforming? And Astrobot is the game that shows you the potential of gaming in VR, the potential of platforming games in VR. So, yeah, it's just so creatively dense. I love it. Let's see. Video Bros, happy belated birthday, Young. By the way, actually, Mob Psycho has 2 more episodes to go for this season. 13 episodes. By the way, did you see the Joker render Best Buy has on their website for Smash looks great. Yes, I did see that. It looks fantastic. I did hear something about, like, the April release window now no longer being a thing. I think, like, it was a label that was there and then it was removed on some website, so people are speculating that it might have been delayed. So that would be unfortunate. But if they need to take more time to perfect everything, I say let them have that time. I'd rather they take their time, ship the game, or ship the content appropriately, rather than rush to release like all these other games have been doing and just pissing off fans and people and discouraging people from playing the game. So, but yeah, I've seen the renders. I cannot wait to see how he plays. I haven't played Smash in a while, but that'll give me an excuse to delve back, for sure. Let's see. Oh, and Mob Psycho having 13 episodes. So, okay, there's still a little more to go. Hopefully by the time I catch up to Season 2, Episode 11 or 12 or whatever, enough time will have passed that the 13th final episode will be out. So maybe I can pace my binging of Mob Psycho so that by the time we get to the 13th episode, I'll have watched the whole thing. And I'll be able to just go right into the final episode and not have to wait. I hate waiting for the next episode, especially when a show is super good. Mike Lee, PSA, Avengers Endgame tickets go on sale tomorrow. My God. Wow. It is crazy to think that Avengers Endgame was already coming out, like, this month. In less than... What is the actual release date? Avengers Endgame. It will be out April 26th, so in 25 days. That is a little over 3 weeks. Insane. This is gonna shatter so many records. It's not even funny how much money this movie is gonna make. It probably cost a lot to make. I mean, the ensemble, the amount of money you had to pay these actors to bring them all together, I can only imagine. But I think it'll more than make its money back. It is gonna just destroy records. And I'm seriously looking forward to it. The setup is fantastic right now. I love the way Infinity War ended, on a more tragic note. And now it's the hero's time to rise up and find a way to undo this crazy scenario of half of life in the universe being snapped out of existence. So many theories out there. I'm just gonna go in with a blank slate mind. I don't want to get any notions about what might happen. I just want to go in there and enjoy the movie for what it is. I don't want to go in there with expectations. Just, I know what I know from the movies. I'm just gonna sit there, watch it, and whatever happens, happens. I'll probably... you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rewatch the entire cinematic universe in timeline order, because there's a lot of questions, especially with Captain Marvel, about, like, how did the Tesseract move from one place to another, and that's creating all these different theories about what's actually going on, how they're gonna actually solve this problem, and stuff. So I'm going to try to rewatch everything, so when I go into Endgame and they reference certain events, I can be like, yeah, I know what that is, and I can hopefully put the pieces together in my head. I'll answer a couple more questions, and we'll call it early today, since there aren't as many questions today, in large part my fault due to the last-minute announcement. Video Bro says, One Punch Man Season 2 starts April 26th too, I think, somewhere around the time period. By the way, fun fact, One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 100 are made by the same people. Mob Psycho is a younger-looking Saitama. Yeah, the art style is identical, so yeah, I'm well aware that these two shows were made by the same guy. And they're both great shows. Personally, I think I like Mob Psycho 100 more. There's just more depth to the characters. There's just more, it's more cerebral and more emotionally resonant to me. Though I do like the premise of One Punch Man. This guy who's so powerful that he's bored. It's kind of like, you know how it's like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and constantly playing it with a cheat code. At first, you feel that power of having infinite ammo and all these different things. But, you know, eventually that gets boring, right? If you constantly had to play GTA 5 with cheat codes, you just have infinite ammo, infinite health, there's no challenge, there's no conflict. It's a boring game. It becomes a boring game. You just want to turn off the cheats and just play it like normal, live life like a normal person. And that's the whole premise of One Punch Man, of what is it like to live as a being so powerful that there's nothing to strive for anymore. There's no next step of the ladder to try to climb, you know? You just kind of stagnate, right? It's boring. There's no competition, or no tangible competition, at least. So that's very cool. So I love both shows, but I think Mob Psycho takes the cake. And the animation of Mob Psycho, the style of Mob Psycho is, there's just nothing quite like it, I think. But that's my take. So I think maybe I can call it a day today. Unless you have, I'll wait maybe a minute for one more question if you guys want to chime in. But yeah, that's all I got. No April Fool's craziness, no April Fool's shenanigans. I'll probably talk about the Borderlands 3 likely going epic tomorrow, maybe. Though it might be more prudent to wait until April 3rd, but all the evidence right now is pretty compelling that Borderlands 3 is epic exclusive. Let's see. Mike Lee says, check out the anime Promise Neverland. Just finished and you'll want to binge it all. So I actually know about that because my brother is a big fan of that show. He read the manga Promise Neverland. And I know it's about an orphanage where something's not right. It's about like how these kids are all contained within this place, this orphanage, and then if they're forbidden from going outside, and there's something outside that's like, I don't know. That's pretty much as far as I got in terms of the synopsis of this of Promise Neverland. That's as far as my brother told me to avoid spoilers. But yeah, a fucked up orphanage that seems like everything's happy-go-lucky starting out. Like, it seems like this ideal place to live, but there's a lot of creepy stuff actually going on in this orphanage. And then there's a reason for why they're preventing these children from going outside. Something about there's like other entities out there, and I won't say more in case people want to watch the show and avoid spoilers. Let's see. Does Soul Embrace have a question that I missed? Oh, yeah. Soul Embrace 2010 Gaming. Don't remember if it were asked, but have you ever thought about doing a video about Sony censorship? Just asking because of that exchange you had with that voice of fan service guy. Yeah, I'll probably. It's a topic that's been on my mind. There's just like other stuff that I'm prioritizing, but yeah, I don't support the notion that that PlayStation should be censoring what are very minute things. I mean, the games are already labeled M for mature or whatever. People know going into these games that they are intended for a mature audience. So to censor things like, you know, like butts, even breasts, you know, like in Witcher 3, there's plenty of exposed breasts. And Cyberpunk, we know, is going to have plenty of exposed body parts. You know, you saw the gameplay footage, right? So what, is Sony gonna like blur that out? That'd be insane. That'd be dumb. It's dumb. It's so dumb what Sony's doing. So hopefully I can make a video about that one of these days. I know the Devil May Cry thing came up, and there's been plenty of incidents before that. So yeah, I'd one day like to actually share my thoughts on that, because my overall thoughts are, yeah, this is not right. So it's dumb. Like, there's no reason for this. And, you know, yeah. Adults can think for themselves. They can say, okay, that's a game for me. That's not a game for me. And it's they shouldn't restrict artistic expression in that sense. So hopefully, PlayStation will stop. Hopefully, if they keep doing this, the backlash will keep growing, and yeah, I mean, I'll be more incentivized to cover all of these previous incidents where this stuff happened. It's not right. It just, it's not even like they're covering up genitalia. It's just like Devil May Cry 5, they had like lens flare on like butts, basically. I think there's one scene where Dante is carrying a nude Trish because she's a boss battle. Well, she's not a boss battle, but like she's encapsulated in a boss who you defeat, and then she comes out and she's like naked, and Dante picks her up to carry her back to safety. And there's nothing too explicit that's shown. They the camera angles are pretty considerate, but they censored it regardless with like weird lens flare. It's so stupid. Like, we're adults, we can take butt. We can take plenty more than that, honestly. And I'm all for, you know, trying to keep ensuring that platforms don't have things that take things too far. You know, you can't have, you know, I don't know, just full penetration or whatever featured in a game and expect platforms to just be like, yeah, no, let that fly. I get that there's some restrictions on that front if it's too much. But everything that's been censored on Sony's part so far has been just really trivial stuff. And yeah, like Mortal Kombat has like really brutal violence, and Last of Us Part 2, same thing, as T-Job highlighted. And yet, like that stuff's fine, apparently, but a little bit of butt, just a breast is too much. It's just breast. Like, it's just flesh. I don't understand this taboo of body parts. You know, yeah, they're privates, but you know, as long as they're implemented in a way that's not like just for shock value, or you know, that's not insane and too out there, which isn't the case for Devil May Cry 5 and all these other games. Who cares? Let, you know, the Sengan Kagura, whatever that series, bunch of bikini girls and stuff. It's just bikini girls, whatever. You know? If people want to play those games and see all it has to offer, let them. So yeah, that's my take on that. I hope that that's pretty clear. So yeah, and then as for my take on Captain Marvel, I thought it was just fine. You know, it was fine. I wasn't like, I didn't like hate the movie, but I didn't love it either. I was just like, this is fun, this is cool, this is, you know, whatever, cool. Now I know I know her origin story, and we can, we know, I mean, some of this, Nick Fury, you know, the eye with the cat and all that, thought that was kind of dumb. So there were a few points there where I'm like, why, just why? But overall, I'm like, it's whatever. It's a fun movie. I'm not gonna, it's not super memorable. I'm just gonna watch it once and never watch it again. Which, you know, whereas other, plenty of other Marvel movies I'd watch over and over again. Captain Marvel is one of those movies that I don't regret watching it the one time, but that's as far as that goes. I would just watch it the one time and then move on, because it's just fine. It's whatever. Okay, I think that is where we're going to end it for today. We got a solid 40 minutes in, so yeah, thank you for tuning in, folks. I hope I answered all your questions. If I did miss one, it was not intentional. It's just, you know, the chat right now is just a bunch of text. Sometimes I scan through it and miss one, but I think I covered everything. So I hope everyone got satisfactory responses. I hope I covered your questions enough. And hopefully I'll see you guys next month. And I'll definitely be more, well, I'll be less last minute about next month's announcement. 2 days in advance, so a lot more people can prepare and tune in and leave questions, so on and so forth. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Young out!